Hello there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jobadiah, and in this game I also go by Roman Ragnarok or Roman's Revenge. It's one of my gaming names. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about a battle report in the tabletop miniatures game Ninth Age, and I'm going to go through. This is a tournament I played on this platform called Universal Battler, and it was the Universal Battler Crippling Rides 8. And this is match 2 of that tournament. So, in this tournament, a lot of people know that I play Sylvanos, but in this tournament, was trying out Kingdom of Aquitaine, and we'll look at my list shortly. Now, I'm putting this together several weeks after the tournament ended, and the lists were deleted, so I only have my list and a rough approximation of my opponent's list. So, I do apologize. I'll try to be more prompt in the future. Just was pretty busy. I was playing 2 tournaments at once on UB and working on some other projects. So at the same time, and it just was a lot for me to make these videos too. So I'm gonna catch up on these videos. The UB Crippling Rides 9 is starting soon. I'm recording this on June 6, 2020, and the Crippling Rides UB Tournament 9 is going to start. The deadline for submitting and joining is on June 10th. I do not run this. Just letting it's a PSA just for anyone if they're interested. If this sounds cool and you want to join, you go to the Ninth Age forum. You can search for UB Crippling Rides 9. There's a forum post. I can actually show it to you once this video is done at the end, and you can sign up. So let's get into this match. So my opponent, his name's Zambro, and he was playing the Dread Elves. All right. Now this is my list. This is my first Kingdom of Aquitaine list. I am bringing Kingdom of Aquitaine back for Crippling Rides 9. It is a slightly different list. I improved it based upon what I learned in this tournament. So you will not see this exact list again. Probably no one will ever play this list again. It was fine. So anyway, let's go through it. I had a Duke. I had 2 Dukes. One's a general and one's not, but they both have the humility virtue, which means that they can join insignificant units because non-insignificant characters I didn't think could join insignificant units. That's the rule. And so I gave him Bastard Sword of the Kingslayer, Death Cheater, Obsidian Rock. Basically, the way this list plays is there's 2 Humility Dukes. Each Humility Duke goes into one of these big peasant levies. There's 48 peasant levies, or 47 peasant levies with spears. So there's 2 Dukes that go in each of those. My other Duke that's a general, he's got Faith of Percival and the Grail Oath. Grail Oath gives you a 5-up Aegis all the time. Faith of Percival gives you +1 Aegis. So he's got a 4-up Aegis all the time. That's why I gave it to him. And he's got Essence of Mithril. I didn't really like either of these builds, so you'll see my Duke builds in my new list in a couple weeks, and they're a lot better. But I had to play these to figure that out. Also, my BSB build, I did improve upon this. The Crusader Salvation I didn't think was worth it, and there's a couple things I did to tweak my palette into. So I'm really excited about that for this upcoming tournament. And then I had 2 Castellans that were bannermen. Obviously, one of each also goes into these peasant levies with spears. And I had 2 Castellans that are Master at Arms. Master of Arms, if you're not familiar with it, it gives the whole unit Weapon Master. So even though I gave them spears, they can use hand weapon and shield if they want to. Throughout the course of the tournament, I actually found myself using hand weapon and shield more than spears. And so spears are free, but if you have a weapon, you have to use it. So if you give them spears and you don't have a Master at Arms in there, they have to use the spears. So in my upcoming list, I think I just left the spears out. I'll have to double check that, but I think I already submitted. So anyway, then I had so there's 3 characters in each of these, so it's a nice block of 50 guys, right? And then I also have 13 Knights of the Realm with Banner of the Last Charge. Banner of the Last Charge, everyone seems to take it, King of Aquitaine. It gives impact hits based on ranks in that unit. And then I had 3 more peasant levies. Just these are minimum sized, right? This is the minimum size. 30 peasant levies, the smallest. It's only 190 for 30 guys. My idea was to use these as chaff. It didn't quite work. I probably need to work on that. But and then I had 27 Knights Forlorn, where the BSB obviously goes in here. They have Banner of Speed. And then just to top it off, I have 2 Scorpions just for some ranged. So that's my list. Dread Elf Zambro's list. Again, I don't have his exact points and numbers, but I went through just looking at the screenshots and from memory, and I figured out approximately what he had. So his general, he had a Dread Prince on a Mana Core with Transcendence. The thing about Transcendence, this is how I remembered he had this special weapon. For every wound that Transcendence causes, it gains like +1 strength and +1 AP for the rest of the battle. Yeah, it's disgusting. I do have a counter to it, and we'll get to that later in the game. He had an Oracle. This is a master. I think it was on Witchcraft. Pretty sure. I think he also had a Cult Priest on BSB because he for sure had a Divine Altar, and he seemed to be re-rolling. So it seems like the only way you can have a BSB on a Divine Altar was this way. He was re-rolling like leadership checks, discipline checks. So I know he had a BSB on a Divine Altar. He had 16 Dread Legionnaires with Spears, the Academy Banner. Academy Banner gives +1 AP for 1 round of combat. They have to activate it. But they can, and then he had another unit with Spears that was a little bit bigger. I'm pretty sure he also had Corsairs with Academy Banner. He had 6 Dread Knights, 2 Rapid Chariots, 17 Dread Judges, and 2 Dread Reapers. Alright. Scenario, it was secure target and deployment marching columns. Now, if you haven't seen my videos before, especially on Kingdom of Aquitaine, the way that I'm playing Kingdom of Aquitaine is Roman. So these pictures are a little old. I have improved these. I have flocked their bases, and I have painted a few more things since then. Right now, I'm working on a big block. I'm working on a block of Peasant Crusaders. And it's just taken a long time to paint 40 Peasant Crusaders. So I haven't updated these pictures, but once I finish that, I will update that. So this is supposed to be my one of my dukes. This is a scorpion, obviously, and a peasant levy with a spear. It's just a Roman legionnaire. All right, deployment. This is the actual game. This is how UB looks, Universal Battler. I think I dropped the way that I was playing this Kingdom of Aquitaine army is the only unit that benefits from blessing, realistically, are the Knights of the Realm. So most of the time, I actually will just drop, and so this is the way that or did I drop? I don't remember if I dropped or not. No, I think we had to. I think we had to alternate. Anyway, so these are the secure targets. These are the things that we're trying to score, pick up, and score. I learned from my first battle not to put my big cav unit on the flank because it can't wheel. Although I did look up the rules for that after the fact, and you are actually allowed to wheel off the board. You just have to keep your front rank or front arc on the board. So a lot of people don't know that, I don't think. So that would have been very helpful in the first game. Anyway, this is my deployment. I really liked having my Scorpion Man on the wall. That helped it a lot. Beyond that, I don't think it was super deployed super well. I don't know. I'm still struggling with deployment. You can see his mana core doing that side thingy. I still don't really understand why they do that. To me, it seems kind of cheesy, but whatever. Divine Altar back here. Spears. Corsairs. These are the Executioners. And, yep. Alright, so he got to go first. So he must have deployed, and then yeah, I know I deployed after him, because I deployed this way to counter him. So he just moves up on the hill, give himself maximized or rerollable charge ranges. Hides his mana core from my scorpions. Smart. Pushes a little bit just to threaten this. Alright. He does magic. What does he cast? He must have casted a damage spell, because he got some knights off. I don't remember what else he did. Maybe that was shooting. Anyway, I don't think his magic did much the first round. He was trying to cast the whole game. He was trying to cast. Let me grab my arcane compendium. So the whole game, I remember he was trying to cast a spell to get on my knights to give them random movement, which was yeah, Will-O-Wisp. So yeah, that's why I knew he had witchcraft. The whole game he was putting Will-O-Wisp on my big block of knights to give them random movement. um, so that was the main one I was trying to dispel, and I basically would let other spells through. All right, then I moved. So I decided that I would push forward this small unit into the woods to try to bait him. I figured if he charged them, I could then countercharge with my two big blocks. That's kind of the way I use my small units. So I push my small units forward to try to bait him forward, and then I can pressure with my other units. Okay. Shooting. I think my scorpions missed on the first turn. They actually did some good shooting this game, but they missed on the first turn. So let's move on. I don't have magic in this army. So then it's his turn. He charges both chariots into this peasant block. And that's the only thing he takes. He doesn't take any other baits. Then he moves his mana core forward. So this is not good because now you can see he's in my flank. So this unit can't charge him. I shouldn't have wheeled it this far. But I wanted to get out of the arc so that if the chariots overran, they wouldn't hit him. So that was a mistake from me. And other than that, he's just shuffling around, zoning this secure target on the right side, right? Here you can see he got 2 off. That's deceptive. Is that deceptive glamour, or is he on occultism? Where's occultism? It wasn't occultism. That might have been, he might have evocation. No, I think it probably was deceptive glamour. I probably let that get off because I didn't really care about having minus offensive and defensive and agility. That wasn't that big of a deal for me. And then he put Evil Eye on this block, which I did not like. I really don't like Evil Eye. So the Witchcraft is a really nice spell art. And again, I must have just dispelled Will-O-Wisp. Alright. He kills my peasant block, of course. And overruns with... I think he only overran with 1. Which is not quite what I had anticipated. And then his shooting, of course, he had shot at and somehow put a wound on the scorpion, even though it's behind this wall, which gives it hard cover. So that's fun. Alright, so what do I do on my turn? This unit here charged this chariot. It fled through. It took a wound from fleeing through the trees. I, of course, failed, so they didn't go very far. That's my only charge. And then I just push forward these 2 small ones. I'm trying to bait him forward again. I want him to charge so that I can then hit him with my powerful units, right? And then I just turn so he can't charge me in the flank. I know he's going to charge my scorpion, but I figure at least he won't get to me in the flank. And I figure a chariot in the flank isn't the end of the world. Not a lot I can do about that. Shooting, I actually shoot that chariot and kill it. Because I had 1 wound. And I did D3 wounds. So I must have rolled like a 5 or 6 to wound it. Or on the wounds. So that was really good. Then on his turn, he charges his mana core into my scorpion. He charges his coursers into these peasants. My peasants I must have fled? Or did I stay? I know this unit fled and they fled off the board. I rolled really high. The other one must have fled and I should have probably stayed, but they fled off the board too. So that was bad. I should have stayed with at least one of them. And instead I fled with them. I think I should have stayed and that would have changed the game. Because it would have gotten his unit into a position that I wanted to charge him in. But that didn't happen. Then his other moves, he just moves up to zone, so I still can't charge him because then I'll just get outflanked. So I'm in a pickle. I lost all my chaff, right? Yeah, so he got and then his magic, he got Bewitching Glare off on my Knights of the Realm. And then he put Evil Eye on my Forlorns, which is not good. But that just counters their movement banner. They have movement banner, so they're still doing okay. Shooting, he puts another wound on my Scorpion. But I'm okay with him shooting my Scorpion. It's better than him shooting my Knights of the Realm. Of course, his Mana Core guy kills the Scorpion. Now that his Mana Core guy has killed my Scorpion, with Transcendence, he's supercharged. So I gave him an easy way to supercharge his weapon. Now he's ridiculous in combat. So that was my mistake. My turn. I charge his chariot with this big block here. And it flees. I actually take his bait. I charge his Corsairs with my Knights of the Realm. I do the math. I calculate with impact hits. This is my best chance at killing. Because his Oracle Master's in here. So I figure if I charge, I can do enough wounds. He's 8 wide. He's not steadfast. Or he doesn't have rank bonus. He is, and he's not steadfast because I have more ranks than him. And Corsairs don't actually have that much AP, so I figure I can charge him, kill a bunch, break him, run him down, and move out of my charge arc. I move out of these guys' charge arc, right? So I actually do that. That's what my plan is. My other moves, I move my Forlorns up because I figure if I move my Forlorns up, he won't be able to charge all of them. If they hold, well, I probably should have moved the Forlorns in a different way, but anyway. Shooting. I shoot at his chariot, put another 2 wounds on there. Combat, I do win combat. You can see I destroyed 8 Corsairs, and he only killed, he did kill, it looks like 2 Knights of the Realm. I win combat, but he rolled higher than me. I mean, look how far away he got. Like, I only rolled like a 4, and he rolled like a 10 or something. And so I didn't catch him. And that's one of the other things I don't like in the game is all too often I feel like my knights don't faster things don't catch stuff. Like knights should always pretty much always catch infantry and swift stride isn't enough. It needs to be like swift stride plus half their advance rate or something. You know, like a guaranteed extra. You're always going to have an extra like 5 inches or something. But anyway, I just see this happen all the time where my Swift Stride unit doesn't catch an infantry unit. And now I have a big flank open, right? And so this was a big game changer because if I had caught them, I would have taken out a scoring unit. I would have taken out his main magic. I would have gotten into his bolt throwers or, you know, and I just would have been, it just would have totally changed the game just from that one die roll. So anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the charge, is what some people would say. But I did break him. I just failed to catch him. So he charges me, and I flee with my knights because I figure there's no way if I'm charged that they're going to survive. So I flee with them. And his Mana Core charges my peasants in the rear. His Dread Knights, the Raptor Knights, move up and capture the target. And now he tries to redirect into the Forlorns, but then it's too far away. So, and I think maybe that was the only one he charged. Anyway, then he does magic. Now, can you stack? Went twice. Yeah, so then he stacks Evil Eye on these guys. I don't want them in my flank. This is really bad. They rally, of course. And then he gets a bunch of spells off. Look, he got Bewitching Glare on my Peasants of and Deceptive Glamour. I mean, they're already really bad. Did you have to put Deceptive Glamour on them too? They're already a 2/2. Why do you put Deceptive Glamour on them to make them a 1/1? Like, come on. Anyway, they break, right? They're not. I think. I think what happened was he challenged. I accepted with my Duke. And he killed my Duke because he had Transcendence. He just like one-shotted my Duke. I think even with Death Cheater, I failed my 4-up Fortitude. What I should have done, because I have this Castilian Master in Arms, I learned from this encounter. In this situation, I should have accepted, or I should have challenged with my Master at Arms. My Castilian Master at Arms. He would have killed my Master at Arms, but then I would have had the leadership of the Duke. And he probably wouldn't have broken me, because I would have been Steadfast, Discipline 9, rerollable. Yeah, and he put Transcendence on a land, so he's really, really good on the charge, and after the charge, he's not as good. So that was my mistake. So he just got like 800 points all at once, or 900 points all at once. That's the problem with this army. My Knights of the Realm rally, but they're getting shot up. Now, what am I gonna do, right? I realize at this point, now that I failed to catch his Corsairs, my Knights of the Realm can't do another charge like that. And now that I lost this big block to this Transcendent guy, I'm hurting pretty bad. I'm not really sure how to make this work. So, shooting wise, I shoot off this other chariot though, so I'm happy about that. And then charges. He charges his knights at my knights, and I flee because they're not going to survive. He charges his raptors into my peasant block, which I'm okay with. And then over here he charges all 3 units into my forlorns. The altar actually failed. The spearmen with the altar failed, but the other 2 make it. And that's not good because these executioners are just gonna cut me up. Alright. So then in magic, he got wheels turns off. And I didn't really understand wheel turns. I thought he was casting. I thought the way it worked. Anyway, yeah, wheel turns to me is a confusing spell. So, I let it through. I thought it says the melee attacks made by. Well, I'm not gonna go through it right now. You can look it up, and to me it reads in a very confusing way. And I think I thought he was casting the boosted version, which in my mind I would then be able to wound him, or no, I thought the way it was worded, he would only hit me on 4s, and then I would only wound him on 4s. I don't know. It's very confusing, and I think they need to rewrite the way it's written. So anyway, I let it through. Because I didn't really understand what it does, and then, of course, and then he got Bewitching Glare off too. So, my peasants actually hold against the knights. Or no, shooting. Shooting, he shoots off one more Knights of the Realm. My forlorns break from combat. I didn't kill that many, but he didn't actually kill that many of me either. He just broke me. but they didn't catch me, and that was good. Um, my turn, and then I kill a couple raptors. My turn, I rally and go into 5x5 or 5x4, so I have ranks because I know he's just going to charge me again. And then he charges me in the flank with his Manicore guy. His raptors must have fled, and then I pursued and I didn't catch them. So I actually broke his raptors. The raptors charged my peasant block, killed a ton, but because I have ranks and all these and standard bonuses, I actually won combat. So then his turn, of course, he charges me, and then his 2 units broke my forlorns, and they run off the board. Here, I had learned, I still have my Castellan, so I don't know. I must not have challenged, and he must have just killed a bunch of peasants. But then on the next turn after that, I was able to hit him. I have Tristan's Resolve, and Tristan's Resolve I stripped Transcendence. So this is the guy with Tristan's Resolve, which is a KoE weapon, which means that any hits, I can discard 1 hit from the weapon, and it will strip the magic enchantment of the enemy character. So it's a perfect counter to Transcendence, but it just happened on turn 6, so late in the game, it didn't really matter that much. So this is basically what I have at the end of the game. I have this peasant block with my general, and a scorpion, and these 2 knights, and that's it. So we played, and I lost. I lost pretty big. He scored the objective. I lost 1-19. Oh, I forgot to change this. My bad. So there you have it. That was the game. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Let's go back to my deployment. So there were a couple things I did during the game that could have gone differently. Mainly, I just seemed to lose based on deployment. Like, I, I don't know. I saw where he was deploying. I deployed like this because I figured chariots and knights are not going to break these big units. That was my idea. And honestly, I didn't think a monster could break these big units either, but a monster character can, I learned. I probably would have been better off with just putting my 3 small peasant blocks over here to distract. Well, these guys would just shoot through them. I don't know. I don't really know, but I definitely needed, if I had these 2 blocks over here, and then I just pushed, I don't know, that would have been a lot different. So, anyway, thanks for watching this. Let's look at 9th Age forums. So this is the forum. If you want to join the Crippling Rides Tournament 9, okay, so you go to 9th Age, you go to forum, scroll down, they have all these categories, but if you go to the Hobby Hub, tournaments, and then they just have it bookmarked UB League, go here, and Crippling Rides 9. This one, you can click on this. Casas, this is the guy that runs all of them. It's really easy to join. You just click this link and upload your list. It's a Dropbox account that he runs. You just upload your list there in text, get all these description of it, and then you just post a comment on this forum that you're joining. So it's pretty simple and it's pretty fun. I like doing them. I've done a couple so far, and it's something nice to do when you can't get games in person in. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that you are having fun playing and enjoying your own games. And let me know what you think of the battle. Anything I could have done differently. Have a great day.